Hey guys, welcome to another episode of About Last Night. It's late and I'm not in the mood to cook. What I'm making tonight is going to be penne pasta with chicken and a mushroom alfredo sauce with extra mushrooms. So this is what I'm using for chicken tonight. It's chicken tenderloins. They're frozen. I got them at Publix. And for pasta, I'm low carb to the core, so I prefer Dreamfields. What I like to do is have this be kind of like the condiment, and I make the majority of the recipe, the veggies and the protein, so that you're getting a very small amount per serving. I'm being super lazy tonight and I'm not making anything from scratch really. So I have portobello mushroom sauce from Rana. I'm also going to throw in a little bit of ricotta to stretch out the sauce a bit, along with this entire package of fresh mushrooms that I'm going to saute. So I'm going to be cutting the chicken tenderloins up into bite-sized pieces and just pan frying them in olive oil in a saute pan. I like to blot my chicken tenders on a paper towel, and I find that cutting them with kitchen shears is a lot easier than using a knife. That way you can just cut along the middle of the tender. Cut the tender in half. And then just cut bite-sized cubes with the scissors. For seasoning with the chicken tenders, I'm just going to be using garlic powder and Crazy Jane's. Meanwhile, while I'm cooking up the chicken, I'm just going to set the water to boil for the pasta. My mother always taught me to add a little salt and pepper and oil to your water when you're boiling. And we just have the raw chicken that I cut up into chunks with the scissors. Look at the amount of chicken from one $7.86 bag. So now I'm adding the garlic powder and the Crazy Jane's, which is my all-purpose seasoning. I'm cooking the chicken on medium-high so I can get some color on there, and the water just started boiling. So I'm going to drop my Dreamfields pasta. Now, if you're using any kind of high protein or high fiber or low carb pasta, you really want to pay attention to the instructions because they can get gummy. So this is exactly 10 minutes. I tried to avoid the temptation to keep stirring the chicken because you really want it to really sear on the sides. So it's really kind of good to leave it alone. Now, if I find that the chicken's getting a little too watery in the frying pan, I like to drain it in the middle. So I have one of these handy dandy drainers. They make all different kinds, and literally you just put it on the edge of the pan like that and just carefully drain it in the sink. I like to do that about halfway through because I really want the chicken to brown, and if you leave it in too much water it's going to poach it. So I'm just stirring the chicken occasionally. This chicken's pretty watery, probably because it was frozen and I defrosted it today, so I'm going to drain it one more time. The timing usually works out fairly perfect with the pasta cooking for 10 minutes and the raw chicken cubes sauteing. Usually they take about 10 minutes, so it usually works out pretty well that everything is easy to assemble at the end all together. So our 10 minutes are up, it's time to drain the pasta. Now I have the pasta, it's off the heat and it's on my cutting board. I've just added a big scoop of ricotta cheese, and now I'm going to add the sauce. Again, this is Rana portobello mushroom sauce. I'm going to add another heaping spoonful of ricotta. And I'm going to throw in some shaved Parmesan cheese. So here's the chicken all nice and brown. And last but not least, it's time to saute the mushrooms. So I'm just going to put this on low to stay warm while I saute the mushrooms. And I like my mushrooms very al dente, so I'm not going to spend a long time frying these at all. And as always, layering garlic powder and Crazy Jane's as I go. So that's about it for me as far as cooking them down. So now we're just going to add them in. And we're done. The last thing I'm going to do is throw in some basil from my garden. This is only half of what it made. This is enough for 3 dinners. Enjoy!